everybody, hope you're having a great day and welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about all things DCP application process. We're going to be talking about WBIs and ranking your roles and phone interviews and all that good stuff. I wanted to make this video to share my DCP application experience, but I just want to put in a little disclaimer that just because this worked for me does not mean that this is the perfect how to get into your DCP on your very first try video. And I just wanted to make this to share what I did, and hopefully it helps you guys out too. Side note, before we get started, I know that there are 1,000,001 of these videos out there, so what I wanted to do is put little timestamps down in the description box. So for example, if this is the 6 million DCP video you've watched, and you are an expert on the WBI, you don't need to hear about that anymore, and you want to go straight to the phone interview, timestamps are down below and you can skip right ahead. I have my laptop here with all my notes and we are going to get started. So before we get started into the real meat of the video, I wanted to go over the little Disney College Program acronyms that you see everywhere all the time when you start your application process. Just in case we have any DCP newbies out there who are like, oh my god, what do all these letters mean? Because I know I was like that too. Oh, we're going to start with that real quick. Again, if you want to skip right over, timestamps down below. So our first acronym, just what you think it would be, is DCP, which stands for Disney College Program. Sometimes you hear people call themselves CPs. It just means they're a college program participant. And that's kind of like saying, hey, I'm a CP in Hollywood Studios, or there's a CP housing event going on. Our next acronym is AR, which stands for Application Received. That is the very first step of your application process, and that just means that Disney has received your application. Your next step in the application is your WBI, which stands for your web-based interview, which has its own section in this video. If you want to go straight there, just look down below. And then your third step of your application process, as you could probably guess, PI stands for phone interview. And again, you want to skip right ahead, move right along, it's got its own section of the video. A not so fun acronym that I want to go over just in case you haven't seen it before is NLIC, which stands for No Longer in Consideration. A lot of people will put it into this format with the apostrophe D whenever they receive a rejection email. Not the most fun acronym, but I wanted you guys to know about it just in case. So we are going to start with all the things you want to do before the application drops. So the most important thing you're going to want to do before applications drop, you're actually doing right now, which is doing your research. Whether it's watching YouTube videos or reading posts online or talking to somebody who's done the program before, learning about other people's experiences is one of the best ways to learn how to make yours a good one. The second thing you're going to want to do is follow the recruiters on Twitter. DCP Christy saved my life with her updates all season. They will keep you updated with when applications drop, when there are going to be waves, what they're working on, and it's so helpful to just kind of calm down your nerves. So I really recommend following them on Twitter. Make sure you talk with your school. I know this isn't super fun, but the last thing I want for you guys to do is to apply, get in, be super excited, and then your school be like, you can't do it. So make sure that your school is cool with you doing the DCP. Another thing you're going to want to do, if you want, is join the DCP Facebook page for your season. I joined super early, so I made a bunch of friends and we all went through the application process together. And I really liked having a support system through the application process between all my Disney friends, my family, and my boyfriend. They were all really helpful. We looked at each other's applications, we practiced interview questions, we shared tips and tricks that we had seen online. So I really recommend joining the Facebook page and creating a support system if you want one. I'm going to move on to a little more of the technical stuff. So you're going to want to set up your dashboard before applications drop. That way everything is auto-filled right in and you don't have to worry about it on the day of applications. So what you're going to do is go to the Disney College Program website, and where it says view your dashboard, just click on it and it will have you create your own dashboard. You can put in your 5 most recent job and volunteer experiences with as much description as you want. You're also going to put in like your school, your GPA, your major, where you're from, stuff like that. So one of the things that is super controversial about the DCP application process is the use of keywords. Some people say that the algorithm of your application getting picked is all luck, and some people say, hey, if you use these keywords, it'll push you through, blah, 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 blah. I did use the keywords just because I wanted to be as thorough as possible, just in case. So what I did was I looked at all the roles, do your research, all the roles, especially the ones I was interested in, and if there was a description under one of the roles that matched one of the jobs that I had, kind of reworded it and put it under that job's description. For example, if one of the roles says, working with children of all ages, I was a camp counselor at our science center in Pittsburgh, so I put down works well with children on my application. Stuff like that. Other things to consider if you so choose are the 4 pillars of Disney, which are safety, courtesy, efficiency, and show. So if you can work those into your job description somehow, I did, all the better. Another thing you're going to want to do, and this is part of your research, is figure out how you want to rank your roles. Some people say this has an impact on your application, some people don't. I think it does, because the more roles you have interest in, the more places they can put you. So, when you're thinking about ranking your roles, and for those of you who don't know what that is, all of the roles that you will be able to do, you can put high interest, moderate interest, low interest, or no interest. You will be considered for all of the ones except for no interest. Make sure that you are honest with yourself. If you would really, really hate to do something while you're down there, then maybe rank that as no interest. Because even if you put low interest, there's a chance you could still be placed in that role. Also, make sure you are qualified for the roles you're putting down. For example, if you have high interest in watercraft and you don't have a driver's license, maybe not the best, role for you. The only roles that I put no interest in were lifeguarding, because I'm not lifeguard certified, and custodial, because I do not handle throw up well. Now we are moving on to application day. Another one of the big DCP controversies is when to apply. Some people say apply the first day, other people say wait a couple days for the traffic to go through. I'm going to say apply whenever you feel comfortable. So if you don't feel comfortable applying on the first day, don't. If you're like me and you just wanted to apply as soon as possible, do that. Things to think about though. My school schedules, I know it's not super fun to talk about school when you want to talk about Disney, but my school schedules halfway through the semester for the following semester. So I might not have known if I was in or not, and I would have to schedule for classes and find housing. So try to keep things like that in mind. That's not only did I want to apply on the first day because I felt I was ready to apply on the first day, I also had some logistical reasons as to why I wanted to find out as soon as possible. So your second step after your application is received, you'll get an email notified that your application is in consideration, which means somebody is looking at it. And after that, if they liked it, you get an email saying that you can take the WBI, which is your web-based interview. The web-based interview is basically like an online personality test. It'll ask you questions like, are you a team player? Are you always on time? Do you work well by yourself? Like things like that. So I have a couple tips and tricks about your WBI. So the first one is always have an opinion and never be neutral. Disney likes people who are opinionated. Second tip for you is be consistent. Disney will sometimes reword questions in different sections to try to trip you up. And my biggest tip with that is, so I'm going to set the scene for you guys. When I got my WBI, it was probably about 45 minutes or so after my application was sent in, and I sent my application in on the very first day. And I was doing this all with my boyfriend sitting next to me because I was shaking like a chihuahua in the rain. I was so nervous. And when you're that nervous, sometimes you can make silly mistakes. So I would say have somebody you trust take the WBI with you. So I had him sit next to me and be like, yes, you can put strongly agree with that. That is you. That is not you. Remember what you said earlier. And it really helped. And it also calmed me down because you do all have a limited amount of time to answer the questions. After your WBI is over, you're going to get an email saying that if you passed or if you didn't, and if you passed, you're going to be able to schedule your phone interview. Alright, we are on the last step, guys, because after you passed your WBI, you're going to schedule your phone interview. So I'll tell you all about mine versus giving you tips and tricks just because it's kind of different for everybody. So I'll give like a mini overview, but then I'll just kind of talk about what I went through. So, your phone interview is usually about 15 minutes long. Mine was probably the easiest and most fun interview I've ever done because it's just talking to somebody who loves Disney just as much as you do and somebody who wants you to be here. Okay, so for me, because I put high interest in so many roles, most of the interview was asking me if I would be comfortable with certain things, like if I had any food allergies or things like that. They're going to ask you if you have any tattoos or piercings. Be honest with them. It is not going to affect your overall program. For example, I have my first and second lobes done on each of my ears. I have a cartilage piercing up here, and I have a tragus piercing in here, but as long as you're willing to take them out, it's perfectly fine. And even if you have visible tattoos, they'll find ways for you to cover them. I did find interview questions online, and I did practice with them. Again, my poor boyfriend, shout out to him for practicing those questions with me. But I definitely didn't need to prepare as much as I did. The questions came very naturally, and as long as you are doing the program for the right reasons, it's just talking about stuff you love for 15 minutes. Okay, so little tips and tricks, things that I did that I thought helped my phone interview go just a little bit better is wear something that makes you feel confident. I didn't wear this, but I wore another Disney shirt. Put a mirror in front of you to check on yourself to see if you're smiling. Trust me, it makes such a difference. People can almost hear you smiling. Things that I did was print out my application and my ranked roles just in case they were to ask me about them, so I had all my information right in front of me and could easily access it. Disney is really big on names, so whenever your recruiter tells you your name. Disney is really big on names, so when the recruiter tells you their name, maybe write it down so you can thank them after the interview. So obviously they want people who love Disney, but they also want you to be qualified. So don't just talk about how much you love it, talk about why you want to do it. I want to be an Imagineer, so I talked about that for a lot of the interview, about how I wanted to be part of the company and this was a stepping stone for me. If you put interest in character performer, make sure you know which audition you're attending. They will ask, and they were impressed that I already knew where I was going. Have some questions for them. They love talking about this stuff, and it also shows that you have interest in the program and interest in them. So I asked, what are the Disney University classes that you would recommend? And I also asked if there were any college program participants who get internships after their program. So it showed that I had interest besides just going to the parks, and also that I was looking forward to being part of the company in the future. Alright, so some of my final thoughts are almost done, guys. Home stretch. Thanks for hanging in so far. Always do what is best for you. Don't worry about anybody else's application. Make sure you apply when you want to apply. Make sure you fill out your application the way you want to fill out your application. Take constructive criticism, but make sure that you are being yourself because that's the most important thing. And another final thought is try again. I am very lucky and very blessed that I did get in on the first try, but I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So maybe if you don't get in, this isn't the time for you, and just keep on trying because Disney will always be there for you. And there are plenty of opportunities outside of the college program if you really want to work for the company. There are professional internships, there's part-time, there's full-time, there's so many opportunities for you. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped you in some way, and I am more than willing to answer any questions. I'm probably a little more receptive over at my Instagram, which is AllieInWonderland9, so feel free to message me on there. I am more than willing to help you guys out. If you want any specific videos, more in depth about any part of the process, just let me know. And I'm planning on trying to get a audition process video out soon. And the day that I'm filming this is actually 30 days before I leave for my program. I check in August 5th, I arrive August 1st, so I'm going to try to document all my prep, all my packing, all my planning, and I have none of that started. But thank you so much. Feel free to